the one that I've done in Brazil was like 3 months.
Yeah.
And you just pretty much you live, you go to the rehab center and you live there, and they try to do as much as real as possible. So you will learn first. You will learn all about your skincare, what you have to do, and then you learn in my case, I do self catheterization. So whenever you need to, you insert it, and you learn how to do that, and that just become part of, like, all I need to do is you go there and do self catheterization, and then you will learn bowel care. So you pretty much establish a routine. Like you choose what time. Some people do like every second day they go to the toilet, or for some people every day, or for some people even every 3 days. But you choose like a time, and then you set up, and you pretty much you teach your bowel, like that's
right.
And then I think the hardest part of my rehab process was sexuality. Sex is already taboo, and then disability is taboo, and then you put sex and disability is taboo on a huge level, and that's one subject that I love. Love it. Brazilian, of course. Love talking about it. Love not doing much lately, but love talking about it. Yeah, for me, everybody's different, but for me, it's always been a huge part of, And I was 19, so I already had like sexual life. I was with a boyfriend, and I broke up a month before having my injury. So stupid. And then I just was like, I think I want to party. I'm not ready for a relationship. And then 1 month later, boom, party's over, at least for some time. And I think at the beginning you're just like pretty much fighting for your life. So you think about it, but it's not like the main thing is just survive, survival mode. But then I just like was so many changes, like the body that I had just disappeared, I had a beautiful body, and as women we always putting finding the flaws, and I wasn't happy because I have this little tiny fat here under the armpit. That bothered me. That small bag of fat here, and I wasn't happy with the size of my calves, and now I really know what a thing like is. And it's just, you just have to embrace who you are and be grateful. Now I have this belly that looks like I'm pregnant forever pregnant, but it's beautiful. And probably right now I have the best body that I will have in my life, because gravity is merciless, and aging, we pretty much, is it like a compost, like you decomposing. That's what it means to age. But it's beautiful as well. Like, it's so nice, like you have the privilege of seeing your hair go gray. I could have died when I was 19. And now, it's beautiful to see the first wrinkles, and that reminds you of the privilege of being alive. And back to the sexual thing, that was the hardest part of my rehab by far, because soon I was back to university, and then I was back to work, and then I was back to social life. But sex took me 5 years to have my second first time, and that was so many challenges, because I think. Like having an orgasm, let's talk about it first. What do you need? You need stimulation, right? And we all relate to skin, that's the main sexual organ, like it's touching and feeling. And then I lost sensation from pretty much from here down. So if I touch here, I can feel, and then I feel pressure, and then I don't feel. I feel a little bit, and then I don't feel, so And then you have to find new ways to stimulate your brain, because actually the orgasm happens in your brain.
Yeah.
But you always used to use sensorial, this like touching stimulation. And then you have to find new ways. So seeing what's happening is really good. Listening to what is happening really good. And especially for me, because I had this sexual experience before, I know in my brain what I was feeling when I was being touched. So if I see what I'm, I kind of reactivate that sensation in my brain. And honestly, after my spinal cord injury, like after I had one of the best orgasms in my life, after the injury, I think was all this lust and horniness accumulated after 5 years,